We got to see the return of Tyler Hoechlin's Superman in this week's episode of Superman and Lois, where he visits the Bizarro Superman world. Let's review and discuss it all. What's going on, Superman and Lois fans? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, The Viking. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for a brand new video every single day. Apologies that this review is up a few days late. It's just this week was crazy with movie news because CinemaCon was going on. So I was covering that on this channel and on my social media platforms. But next week's review of Superman and Lois will be up a lot quicker. So keep an eye out for that. But this is my review, discussion and breakdown for Superman and Lois Season 2, Episode 10, Superman in Bizarro World. This breakdown comes from BatmanNews.com. We will go through it, talk about what we liked and didn't like about this episode. And you guys, of course, get into the comment section and let me know your thoughts. Despite being a show about a flying man who can hold up an entire bridge with one hand, Superman and Lois is a fairly grounded show that has found a way to tread the needle between some of Superman's sillier adventures and the very real repercussions they would cause. How does a show like that let its hair down and get silly? Welcome to Bizarro World. Spoilers ahead. Bizarros in a Bizarro world. Superman races through the portal after Ali Alston, but when he arrives on the other side, he discovers everything on this parallel Earth is bizarre. Navigating his way through familiar faces and landscapes, Superman goes on one wild ride in his fight to stop Ali Alston from merging with her other self. In the last episode, we imagined a world where Superman had disappeared for an entire month. This week flips the coin over and shows us what the inverse Earth, the home of Bizarro Superman, looks like in its live-action interpretation. It's as different of a place as a show with a CW-sized budget can be. The Earth is a cube instead of a sphere, and so are the balls they play pool with. Superman is a hero, but instead of shunning celebrity, he embraces it and gets lost in it. And everyone has silly emo hair. Limited budget, limited Bizarro. This episode admittedly didn't go as far as I would have liked, but that is, again, the limit of a secondary network's television budget. I would love to have seen things get weirder. The main theme of Inverse Earth is that people like crappy stuff, but it otherwise looks just like our world. Bars are well lit and full of normal looking people. I was imagining Inverse Earth as being run down and broken, but with people pretending that it is normal. With characters being intentionally repulsive, but treated as beloved. Unfortunately, with that budget and just an hour of television, the writers had to work with what they had. That said, I still enjoyed the story for the most part. Super jerk. In this world, Superman is a celebrity. He steps out of a limo and people ask him for signatures and selfies. His family is just as famous as he is. Instead of being split into Clark and Superman, he's just Kal-El full time. But a somewhat corrupted version. He's not evil or bad, just a jerk who has to learn from his mistakes before he can get back to being a selfless hero like the Superman we know. And that's kind of the theme that flows throughout this episode. In the inverse world, Kal and Tal have a strong brotherly relationship that only breaks down when Ali Alston interferes. Jonathan has powers instead of Jordan, but learns to use them to help Ali Alston instead of helping his dad. Chrissy is ultimately still good when Lieutenant Anderson shows up with her newspaper, and so are Lois and Sam Lane when they meet. It's not so much a mere world as it is a pitch-shifted world. Things aren't truly that different when we get down to the brass tacks. Just superficial stuff like text being backward, the Earth being a cube, and so forth. It's enough to give Bizarro Superman a satisfying arc, though, and to bring the Lieutenant back to the side of good just in time. It's enough to watch John L. go from a good kid who wants to save people to a frustrated son who thinks he has to defy his father to make a name for himself. I was excited for this weird episode going in, but the further I get from it, the more I feel like the showrunners could have done More to make it truly feel bizarro and inverse. Superman destroys a whole building to save one person and is lauded for it despite the death toll. Lois writes for a tabloid and makes up most of her stories, visibly different norms. It feels like one missed opportunity after another, even if it makes a fairly enjoyable watch. Look, I don't fully agree with this review. I thought this episode was pretty interesting to see the Bizarro world and how different it was. I loved, just like the comic books, the Earth and the Sun are cubes. They're not round. So that was pretty interesting, and getting to see Tyler Hoechlin's Superman visit this world and see how different it is, and to see his son on this world have powers and also be a little bit evil, working with Ali Alston. And we get to see the downfall of Bizarro as Superman. He was a celebrity. He loved, the limelight. He loved the selfies and the signatures. He loved being a celebrity, and it went to his head, and it affected his family, where Lois Lane even leaves him in the episode. But it shows how different Superman is when we get to see him in movies, or even in Superman and Lois. So he's trying to be the good guy, but in this Bizarro world, it goes to his head and he just loses his family in the end. And Ali Alston's able to take over, but I liked how he had a good relationship with Tal-Ro, his brother, and stuff like that. So I did like that. I thought it was pretty interesting. And Lieutenant Anderson comes around to help Superman in the end, so does Tal-Ro. And Ali Alston does get to merge with her other self, but we'll have to see how that goes in next week's episode, the repercussions for that. But I enjoyed seeing the Bizarro world. It was different. It was weird. I liked kind of how the daytime was kind of like a red feel to it, like the air and stuff like that. That was interesting. And Superman kind of him getting sick because he was taking too much kryptonite. And I liked how the Bizarro Superman, his powers were inverse. We got to see more of that as well. So I thought the episode was pretty good. And it was kind of interesting to see Tyler Hoechlin's Superman, the main Superman, tackle this world and go to this world and experience this world. So I did enjoy it. I thought it was interesting. We also get to see, Lana Lang, she's kind of has superpowers in this world as well, and she's working with Ali Alston. So I thought the episode was a lot of fun. It was interesting. And of course, if it had a bigger budget, if it was like a movie or stuff, they could have did something more insane with the world. But they have to use what they have at their disposal. And I think the show writers and the directors, everyone did a fantastic job with this episode. It was very interesting. The end fight with Tyler Hoechlin's Superman, Ali Alston, Tal-Ro, his son, Jonathan, John L. That wasn't like, oh my god, amazing, but you could still have a fair idea what was happening, and you can understand that the budget of the show isn't massive, so they can't do amazing stuff every single episode. And Ali Alston sent Jonathan to the main Earth to find his other self, to merge. And we got to see him at the end of the episode go there, so you get to see Lois, and you get to see Jordan and Jonathan and stuff like that. So he's going to try and merge with him. So maybe he might turn good in the end. Maybe our Jonathan will be able to convince his other self that this is bad and to help his dad out. Maybe. We'll have to see how it goes, because I'm sure there will be a redemption arc there for John L., the Bizarro version of him. So yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. But guys, what was your thoughts on this week's episode of Superman Lois? I liked how weird it was. Yes, I agree with the review. It could have been weirder. They could have did something a little bit extra. But I thought the stuff that they did do was interesting. The colour of the world, the Earth, the Sun, Bizarro Superman, his origin, him being a celebrity, it going to his head, his relationship falling out with his sons, and also his wife Lois Lane, and him kind of failing his Earth to an extent. And Tyler Hoechlin's Superman not only has to fight for his world, but also Bizarro's world. And it also puts into perspective why Bizarro was kind of mean or bad when he came to the main Earth and was killing people, because he knew he went wrong and he was trying to fix everything. He was trying to get his family back. He was trying to save his Earth and this other Earth as well by killing Ali Alston. And he ultimately failed, and it led to his demise in the end, which was pretty sad, I thought. So we will have to see Tyler Hoechlin's Superman get back to the main Earth. Maybe he'll get help from his brother Tal-Ro on that Earth as well. And maybe he'll work together with his son from the Bizarro world, Jonathan, and see if they can work out something there against Ali Alston, because she is going to be very, very strong now, leaning into this last half of the season of Superman and Lois. But guys, let me know your thoughts. Thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, get into the comment section. Very intrigued to hear what you thought in this episode. Come follow me on all the social medias, and keep an eye on the channel for next week's review of Superman and Lois Season 2 Episode 11, because it's really picking up steam, and I'm very intrigued to see how this season ends going into season 3, which I think has already been confirmed. Guys, thanks for watching, appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.